Giggles.
laughter. But, some of you have brought some bright little humor to our class. Cole, we really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Still recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you recording?
Yeah, it's going to be Words of Wisdom by Mrs. Green.
Oh, I'm sure.
Would you prefer Elaine? Would you? Elaine.
Elaine, yes, wonderful, Elaine.
Okay.
Hi, Cole.
Hi.
Okay. Bit like, what planet did you come from? Okay. But I'm going to tell you why I'm correct. Okay. And this is my advice to you. They have done study after study after study to see what makes people successful down the road in life. And there are two things. Is finding something that you really care about, your passion, and I think I've talked about that. That you should find something that you really care about doing. The second thing that makes people successful and happy is how well they get along with other people. They have shown that people's ability to get along with others and to work well with others is the primary tool that employers are looking for. They can hire you to do a job, and they can train you to do certain things. They can you can take classes, you can learn skills, okay? But when it's all said and done, if you cannot get along well with other people and work well with other people, to that business, okay? All right, we're ignoring that. No, we're not. We're ignoring that, okay?
We have a break right now.
All right, just when you close the door, you'll get a break on it. Okay.
Time for Words of Wisdom.
All right, time for words of wisdom. That's right. So they have really shown that people who can interact with others, this is the most important skill that you can have. Now, what happens typically is eighth graders leave here, and you have, and this is especially typical of, typical of girls. You have your own little group of friends like this. And you close in on those little friends. And what I'm going to suggest to you that you do is that you try to broaden that circle. Of course, you go spend time with your friends that you want to do things with over the summer. But maybe it's an opportunity to include one other person, or to get, to somebody who is a neighbor, or somebody who you know in other capacity. James, I'm going to ask you to just shake up. Get together with somebody who you might not typically get together with, to kind of broaden that circle. Because what's going to happen next year is all of a sudden you're going to be up there, and you're going to be surprised to find that most of your friends are not in your classes. And that's what the ninth graders come back and say to me every year. Oh, none of my friends were in my class. I didn't get anybody in my schedule, And so your world is going to automatically broaden. So the more you can kind of expand those friendships, hang out with your friends, do those things, so that you've got those connections next year, that will be to your advantage. Now, some of you are going on to other high schools, or you're doing different things, but that's even more important for you, to keep those friendships, strong, and really enjoy this, try to expand on those. Many kids look at high school and they say, the kids are older, they're bigger, I don't think I'm really quite ready. You have to just look around. We are all going together. Now, if I am doing fine here, because when you get there in ninth grade, you're going to be, of course, among your own peers in ninth grade. So, yes, you will grow up a lot, but if you're doing fine now, you're going to do fine next year. There isn't one of you who I don't think I'm going to say to you also that I want you to, you run into me, 5 years down the road. I want you to, I'm going to ask you to go outside. It's my turn to talk. I'm in shape like that. I would really appreciate it. When I run into you, what happens is kids come up to me and they say, and of course you don't look the same anymore. Okay? And they say, hi, Mrs. Green, you remember me? And I stand there and I'm just like, oh. And or I try to fake it. Oh, sure I do. Well, I'm trying to think, who is this? Okay. And it makes me feel really bad because I think, okay, you have the image or the impression that I really didn't care about you, which is not the case. But you changed so much that it's hard for me, to make that quick connection. And I have 90-some-odd students going through every year. So I'm going to ask you to put them up and say, for example, hi, I'm Courtney Pasco from way back in 2008. And I'm going to think, oh my gosh, Courtney. Okay, great. I can make that connection. It's difficult. When I run into Jimmy, and Jimmy is in Walmart, and he's 6'3", and he's pushing a cart down, and he's got 5 little kids behind him, little Jimmys behind him.
Little Jimmy.
And
that's good.
This is not the image I have of Jimmy. And he comes down
to his curly hair.
Walmart. He says, "Hi, Miss Reed. Remember me?" Okay. I probably don't but if he says, "Hi." Oh my goodness, Jimmy.
Oh my God.
Okay. So help me out there. It always happens when people are busboys or waiters. They come up, and my husband and I are out to dinner, and they say, "I'm Mrs.
Your students turn into busboys?
Yep, they do. Busboys,
Successful people, huh?
Successful busboys, yes.
They're working at the taco
Yeah. Well, it's a good job during college. The other thing that happens is, or it may be, I am going for brain surgery, and I look just ready to do the brain surgery.
It's me.
James, and I go, "Oh my God, it's James! He's going to be operated! My brain, help me!"
You can trust me.
So when he's holding the scalpel and he says, "Hi, Mrs. Reed.
Remember me.
Remember me,
You're the one who gave me a red
in the
hair.
panic mode, okay? All right, okay.
See, I'll be a successful surgeon.
Successful surgeon, that's right, that's right. The other thing, in all seriousness, that I want to say to you is that just because you walk off this campus does not mean that I am not here for you. I have many students that come back that need help with something, either writing recommendations, or I've mentored a lot of people doing their senior project, or they come back and they just need help with classes in one way or another. I cannot help you in any way with math, okay? Don't see Mrs. Motion. But I will be here to help you with pretty much, anything history, English related, or
Trauma.
to write you those letters if you need them. Sometimes you find your teachers up at Northgate are just not as accessible. And if that is the case, I remember that now, don't panic when you hear them say, the big announcement is, "You're not allowed back on campus." Just come in the back. I am going for brain surgery, and I look just ready to do the brain surgery.
It's me.
James, and I go, "Oh my God, it's